So to get started, we're going to use a retail template that has all of the flows pre-built for you so you can get started quickly. Now, the first thing you want to do is get your data from Shopify into Voiceflow. Now, there's two ways to do this. There's an easy way, which is using an app called Streamline Connector, and the other way is directly. So if you are a developer or you have developer experience, you can set this all up yourself. So really quick note, on the direct way, there's two things you need to do. So the first one is you can go into the knowledge base and you can add in your data sources, so your URLs. So you only want to add in your policy pages this way, not your product pages. If you try to just scrape the web pages on your Shopify store, it's going to come out with really garbage results, and you're not going to be able to get the high quality answers that you're going to be looking for. Your product information is going to need to go through an API called the Table API. This allows you to take structured JSON data, like a list of products and all the variants, and then put them into the knowledge base in a way that the AI can accurately look through them. This does take some development work to set up, and so that's why for this demo, we're going to use Streamline Connector. It's an app that is basically set up to do all of this automatically, syncs up all of your product data from Shopify, your pages, everything into Voiceflow, into your agent, and formats it in a way that works really well with this template. It uses the API to get it in there, and then actually syncs it up on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, and gives you a bunch of options to be able to choose what you want to send or not. So we're going to use Streamline Connector for this video, but if you're a developer, you can do the other way as well. So the first thing I want to do is go to apps, and I'm going to search an app called Streamline Connect. Great. I'm just going to search the Shopify App Store, and you can see right over here, Streamline Connector, Voiceflow. This is what we want to click, and this is going to allow us to sync all of our product data with Voiceflow, in addition to our orders and a whole bunch of other information. Let's install this and go through the process. So hit install, and that's going to set this up on our store. So now that Streamline Connect has been installed, let's go and actually connect our Voiceflow agent here. So I need my API key and the chatbot name. So the chatbot name is Voiceflow e-commerce agent. And the API key is right over here in this section, integration, API key. We're going to copy that and just drop it in here. And so now this is connected to our Voiceflow e-commerce agent. So let's go in and hit manage data. So I want to do a couple things. The first is I want to sync over our product data. So you'll see that right now in my knowledge base, I don't have any data. And so the really important thing about product data is that it needs to be structured in a tabular format. And so Streamline Connect does this via our API. And so you can build this again yourself if you want to. It's in our documentation. It's called upload table data. And if I go ahead and hit send products, I have a couple options here. So let's send all active products, and we'll do this on a weekly basis. And we have two options. So searchable fields and metadata fields. Searchable fields are what a user can actually search when they're typing in requests or questions or recommendations. And then metadata fields are the information we're returning from the knowledge base so that we can save into things like a carousel. My recommendation would just be to leave this as is, sync up the title and description for search, and then keep these for your metadata. This is what you're going to use to make sure that when we do the product recommendations, it's only looking at product and it's not looking at our policies. So keep that as it is, and let's go ahead and hit confirm and save. So now this is going to sync it over to Voiceflow. It's just going to be called as -0. Could have named it, but I didn't. The next thing I want to do is let's go and send pages. So if you have a page like your order page, your policy page, FAQs, you can just go ahead and add those in here and then actually just hit add. We don't have any stages because our website is just a test website. So now if I go ahead and check this is successful, so if I go and look at my knowledge base and I just give it a quick refresh, so I can see that it's synced up here, and if I click this, I've only got 14 items in my store, but you can see here that it's synced up all of the different items. So if I go ahead and ask it something like, do you have any cool socks? It's going to go ahead and look through the products in our database and be able to come up with an answer for us. So now that we've got our information all synced up into our agent here, what we're going to do is we're also going to add in some of our pages. So I've got a return policy page, so we can just add that in. So let's hit confirm and save. So you can see in Voiceflow, this just synced over. And so if I click on it, I've got all the actual content for the page itself. And I can now ask it something like, how long is your return policy? Great, 30 days. So now that we've got our product data, which is over here, and our policy or return information over here, we're going to go into actually setting up our workflows. So now on the home page, we have a number of options. So someone who's using this agent can go through and actually click order status, recommendations, store policies, etc. Or they can straight up just start asking questions like, again, what is your return policy? Or they can ask questions even about products, like what are your socks made of? and that'll be able to also pull information from the product or the knowledge base. And so this is already a decent agent out of the box, but really what makes it special is a number of the flows that have been built out for you here that really leverage the way that Streamlit Connector pulls all the data into Voiceflow that you can recreate on your own or just use the app for.